Before this video starts, guys, I want you guys to leave your comment down below and tell me what you guys think I'm gonna say. Is the SRT a better daily driver than the Trackhawk? And if so, why? Now, sorry if I sound a little bit crazy. I am getting over being sick again for the third time in a week or something like that, but it's fine, guys. Obviously, we have the 2018 SRT Jeep here. And is it better as a daily driver than the Trackhawk? Now, this is just coming from my opinion. Obviously, I have an SRT, so, you know, maybe I do think that this is the best one. Now, there is a couple reasons that I would say that this is probably the ideal daily, just because it's going to give you that middle ground of power and also cost, as well as gas, as well as every other thing that you could think of as far as repairs, power, all that kind of stuff. You know, more power, more problems. So that's kind of why I'd say that the SRT is probably better. Now, you guys probably know, if you're watching this video, that most of the SRT to the Trackhawk is pretty much identical. Now, there's a few different changes, a few different things. Obviously, you go from the 6.4 liter V8 to the 6.2 liter supercharged. You gain about 200 or so horsepower, maybe a little bit more than that. So obviously you are having bigger gains, and obviously, like I said, more power, more problems. So there's more things that can go wrong, more issues with different parts that can happen from the power, the torque, all that kind of stuff. So you know, that's the main concern, right? Is that, one, you're spending a lot more money. I mean, these things brand new are coming in around what, like 80,000 or so, and then obviously they're not making any more, so whatever they have is what they have. But they're coming around 80,000, where the Trackhawk is obviously coming in even higher than that. So right off the bat, you're spending more money. You got more risk involved as far as that goes. And obviously, if you can afford either of these vehicles, and you can afford the gas on it, you can afford the insurance, you can afford whatever the different things are that are going to come maintenance-wise. Hopefully, if you're purchasing one, that you can afford those things and you're not pushing yourself to be stretched too thin. But I do really believe that the SRT is a better daily than the Trackhawk, just based off the fact that, like I said, there's less problems. Obviously, it's a little bit less fun, but a Trackhawk is pretty much identical to an SRT with a bit more power. But in this, you can maybe get stretched 15, 16, maybe even 17 miles per gallon. On a good day, it depends. But with a Trackhawk, you're going to be around that 10 to 13 range, pretty much no matter what you do. So, you know, right off the bat, you're saving a lot of money in gas. You know, you do premium in both of them. Like I said, a lot of similarities between them, so there's not too much that's going to change. Big one's going to be gas. Obviously, your tires might wear a little bit faster because you're putting down more power. Depending on what you're doing with it, there might be other things. You know, maybe you want to do oil changes more often because of more power and that kind of thing. Kind of smart, you know. For me, I wouldn't, because I don't care. I just beat them until they're dead and then move on to the next one. So now I want you guys to tell me down below, what do you guys think? Like I said at the beginning, I hope you guys already commented it, but if you didn't, go ahead and tell me now what your opinion is. Do you think that that matters, the gas mileage, that kind of stuff? Do you think that this is more than enough? Like, is 700 horsepower too much? Like, that's a good question, right? Is like 700 horsepower just a lot for a daily driver? Like, you got your kid in the back, he's gonna have whiplash, his neck's gonna be broken by the time he's 2. You know, even if you're launching this thing, like, it already has a lot of power in the SRT, or like a lot of power, I guess, depending what you're talking about. But it's still, you know, it's a fairly quick vehicle for being an SUV. So it's like, do you need all that more power? I mean, every car guy is going to say, yes, I need that power. But realistically, this is definitely more than enough for a daily driver, especially if you have a family. This is a great family vehicle. I will say that. If you are a car guy and you need a family vehicle, Jeep SRT, baby. That's like, that is the go-to, right? I guess the Trackhawk could be if you're just like way up there, but it's also a lot more money. So, you know, they kind of even out just a little bit. Now, I always say every time that somebody asks about supercharging their SRT or supercharging a V6 or anything like that, I always say just step up to the next thing, or just go for it. Like, if you're going to supercharge an SRT, you might as well just go ahead and get a Trackhawk. It's going to come a lot more durable and a lot more, you know, stable than if you were to just go ahead and slap an aftermarket piece on here and do all the other things. Like, you need a lot of internal parts. There's a lot of other things that go into it than just slapping a supercharger on top. So if you just want to make sure that you're going to get the best out of it and it's going to be the most durable, then just go ahead and buy a Trackhawk. Like, if you even are buying an SRT with plans of supercharging it, I would say just go ahead and do that. Unless maybe you're trying to go higher power, and somehow with the 6.4 liter, because of the displacement, you can get something bigger, then maybe you have a bigger plan and maybe you're smarter. But, you know, in most cases, for the everyday person, if you're going to be buying it as a daily driver and you're buying an SRT and you're like, oh, I'm going to just supercharge it anyway, just get a Trackhawk. Just go ahead, do it. I guess in that situation, it's fine. But I think most people will say that the Trackhawk is amazing, but I think overall daily driver SRT kind of takes the cake, because it's that good middle ground between the two. Now, when we talk about it, right, what makes a daily driver a good daily driver, right? There's different things. Obviously, people care about, one, all-wheel drive if you live in a place like this, where you guys can see them leaves changing, baby. We're on our way to getting snow. So once that snow starts coming in, all-wheel drive matters. great for a daily driver, something you can drive all year round that you don't have to worry about. Another thing is going to be gas mileage. Like, how much does it cost to fill it up? Can you put cheap gas in it? Is it going to get you where you need to go? Is it reliable? Are parts cheap? You know, just kind of maintenance costs of it. This, you know, on the other hand, is not super cheap. So this is obviously that higher end daily. No matter if you're looking at a Trackhawk or an SRT, it's always going to be in that same kind of situation where it's a higher maintenance cost than every other daily driver. But, you know, if you're a car guy and you have a family, or you want space, you know, you're a Jeep person, then here you go. Best daily driver? I think so. I would say for me, I've been daily driving this SRT for 8 months or so now, and you know, it's a love-hate relationship. I'm gonna have another video come out. I'm gonna be wearing the same outfit, so when you guys see that video this week, just know that they were recorded at the same time, of course. And I'm gonna be talking about things about owning it or something, you know, things I hate about owning it or whatever in the past 8 months. So yeah, there's some things that I hate, but in my 8 months of daily driving it, my insurance is actually fairly cheap on it. So it's a 2018 SRT. I'll be 25 in December, so I'm not there yet to the cutoff to save a little bit of money, but I'm only paying about $140 a month since I got it, which is really, really cheap, and it's really good insurance, you know, it's super progressive, so it's really not bad. And on top of that, we're getting 13, 14-ish miles per gallon average. I do drive mostly highway, so once I don't, it drops down to that 13 range, 14, 15 when I drive highway to work and whatever in the morning. So overall, I mean, can you really complain about those numbers? Like you got almost 500 horsepower, nice and loud, crisp V8, it does some launches, it's fun. Doesn't really have crazy curb appeal, which is, I guess, a good thing and a bad thing. Like, I don't get harassed by cops a lot, even though I have a tinted windshield, all the windows are tinted, everything like that. It's kind of loud. I don't really get harassed because it just looks like a mom Jeep 90% of the time. So, you know, it's got a win-win. But like I said, there's a lot of factors when you're thinking about a daily driver. And, you know, maybe the SRT is the right one for you. Like I said, it can definitely vary depending on your situation and what you can afford, what you're looking to spend, and just, you know, the breakdowns of what you're actually looking for. Because if you live in like Florida or something, you might as well just go get like a Hellcat or something like that, because you don't need all-wheel drive, you don't need anything like that. You just go have some fun with it. So like I said, definitely let me know down below what your opinion is. Do you guys think that the SRT is better than a Trackhawk, or do you think that a Trackhawk is better than the SRT? Because I've been having this debate a lot in my head, like, is it worth me upgrading to a Trackhawk? But it's pretty much the same thing, just a little bit more horsepower, cool supercharger whine on top of that, you know, it's good, but I personally just don't think that it's what's worth it. So let me know down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
Fuck a Prada jacket, bitch, I got a lot of jackets. This my style, this my fashion. People trying to jack it, and since I came up, it's crazy how much my jack hit. Fuck a Prada jacket, bitch, I got a lot of jackets. This my style, this my fashion. People trying to jack it, and since I came up, it's crazy how much my jack hit. I just need to listen up, listen up, listen up. Fucking on my bitch, and she thick as fuck. Running on my digits up, V12 truck, and it's quick as fuck.